multiple choice questions and answer on the recording process by IFRS or International Financial Reporting Standards. Question 1. Which of the following statements about an account is true? A. The right side of an account is the debit or increase side. B. An account is an individual accounting record of increases and decreases in specify C asset, liability, and equity items. C. There are separate accounts for specify C assets and liabilities but only one account for equity items. D. The left side of an account is the credit or decrease side. The correct answer is choice B. An account is an individual accounting record of increases and decreases in specific asset, liability, and equity items. The other choices are incorrect because A. The right side of the account is the credit side, not the debit side, and can be the increase or the decrease side, depending on the specific classification account. C. There are also separate accounts for different equity items. And D. The left side of the account is the debit side, not the credit side, and can be either the decrease or the increase side, depending on the specific classification account. Question 2. Debits is A. Increase both assets and liabilities. B. Decrease both assets and liabilities. C. Increase assets and decrease liabilities. D. Decrease assets and increase liabilities. The correct answer is choice C. Debits increase assets but they decrease liabilities. The other choices are incorrect because debits A. Decrease, not increase. Liabilities B. Increase, not decrease, assets, and D. Increase, not decrease, assets and decrease, not increase, liabilities. Question 3. A revenue account A. Is increased by debits. B. Is decreased by credits. C. Has a normal balance of a debit. D. Is increased by credits. The correct answer is choice D. A revenue account is increased by credits. The other choices are incorrect because a revenue account A. Is increased by credits, not debits. B. Is decreased by debits, not credits. And C. Has a normal balance of a credit, not a debit. Question 4. Accounts that normally have debit balances are A. Assets, expenses, and revenues. B. Assets, expenses, and share capital ordinary. C. Assets, liabilities, and dividends. D. Assets, dividends, and expenses. The correct answer is choice D. Assets, dividends, and expenses all have normal debit balances. The other choices are incorrect because A. Revenues have normal credit balances. B. Share capital ordinary has a normal credit balance. And C. Liabilities have normal credit balances. Question 5. The expanded accounting equation is A. Assets plus liabilities equals share capital plus retained. Earnings and dividends and revenues and expenses. B. Assets share capital plus retained. Earnings and dividends. Assets liabilities share capital retained. Earnings, dividends, expense. D. Assets equals liabilities plus share capital plus retained. Earnings and revenues, expenses, dividends. The correct answer is choice D. The expanded accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus share capital plus retained earnings plus revenues, expenses, dividends. The other choices are therefore incorrect. Question 6. Which of the following is not part of the recording process? A. Analyzing transactions. B. Preparing a trial balance. C. Entering transactions in a journal. D. Posting transactions. The correct answer is choice B. Preparing the trial balance is not part of the recording process. Choices: A. Analyzing transactions. C. Entering transactions in a journal, and D. Posting transactions are all part of the recording process. Question 7. Which of the following statements about a journal is false? A. It is not a book of original entry. B. It provides a chronological record of transactions. C. It helps to locate errors because the debit and credit amounts for each entry can be readily compared. D. It discloses in one place the complete effect of a transaction. The correct answer is choice A. The journal is a book of original entry. The other choices are true statements. Question 8. The purchase of supplies on account should result in A. A debit to supplies expense and a credit to cash. B. A debit to supplies expense and a credit to supplies. C. A debit to supplies and a credit to accounts payable. D. A debit to supplies and a credit to accounts receivable. The correct answer is choice C. The purchase of supplies on account results in a debit to supplies and a credit to accounts payable. The other choices are incorrect because the purchase of supplies on account results in A. A debit to supplies, not supplies expense, and a credit to accounts payable, not cash. B. A debit to supplies, not supplies expense, and B. A credit to accounts payable, not accounts receivable. Question 9. A ledger is A. Contains only asset and liability. B. C. Of the entire contained by the entry. The graph is a collection of all units. A ledger. A. Contains all account liabilities, equity, and not asset and liability accounts. B. Usually shows accounts in account number order, and D. Is not a reference in the bills of entry. Question B. C. Is an option or D. Transfers journal entries to D. Transfer journal entries to ledger accounts. The choices are because occurring transaction and C is a sorting process. Question. Before posting a payment of €5,000, the accounts payable of Senator Company had a normal balance of €16,000. The balance after posting this transaction was A. €21,000, B. €5,000, C. €11,000, D. Cannot be determined. The correct answer is choice C. The balance is €11,000, €16,000 normal balance, €5,000 payment, not A. €21,000, B. €5,000, or D. Cannot be determined. Question 12. A trial balance A. is a list of accounts with their balances at a given time. B. proves the mathematical accuracy of journalized transactions. C. will not balance if a correct journal entry is posted twice. D. proves that all transactions have recorded. The correct answer is choice A. A trial balance is a list of accounts with their balances at a given time. The other choices are incorrect because B. the trial balance does not prove that journalized transactions are correct. C. if a journal entry is posted twice, the trial balance will still balance, and D. the trial balance does not prove that all transactions have been recorded. Question 13. A trial balance will not balance if A. a correct journal entry is posted twice. B. the purchase of supplies on account is debited to supplies and credited to cash. C. a £100 cash dividend is debited to dividends for £1,000 and credited to cash for £100. D. a £450 payment on account is debited to accounts payable for £45 and credited to cash for £45. The correct answer is choice C. The trial balance will not balance in this case because the debit of £1,000 to dividends is not equal to the credit of £100 to cash. The other choices are incorrect because A. if a correct journal entry is posted twice, the trial balance will still balance. B. if the purchase of supplies on account is debited to supplies and credited to cash, cash and accounts payable will be understated. But the trial balance will still balance, and D. since the debit and credit amounts are the same, the trial balance will still balance. But both accounts payable and cash will be overstated. Question 14. The trial balance of Clooney Limited had accounts with the following normal balances: cash £5,000, service revenue £85,000, salaries and wages payable £4,000, salaries and wages expense £40,000, rent expense £10,000, share capital ordinary £42,000, dividends £15,000, and equipment £61,000. In preparing a trial balance, the total in the debit column is A. £131,000, B. £216,000, C. 91,000 pounds. D. 116,000 pounds. The correct answer is choice A. The total debit column equals 5,000 pounds, cash, plus 40,000 pounds, salaries and wages expense, plus 10,000 pounds, rent expense, plus 15,000 pounds. Dividends, plus 61,000 pounds, equipment, equals 131,000 pounds, not B. 216,000 pounds, C. 91,000 pounds, or D. 116,000 pounds.